نعرہ پیش کر رہے ہیں برادر شازن ذکی بنگش.
برای خوش ندی امام مسلمان بلند تر آجا اصغر کی جگہ میری سکینہ سو جا. آجا اصغر کی جگہ میری سکینہ سو جا. جاگتی ماں نے کہا میری سکینہ سو جا ہے. آجا اصغر کی جگہ میری سکینہ سو جا. جو تجھے خوف ہے شاید میں اسے کم کر دوں. آج آنکھوں پہ تیرے نادے علی دم کر دوں. دور کیوں بیٹھی ہے میری سکینہ سو جا ہے. آجا اصغر کی جگہ میری سکینہ سو جا. باپ کے سینے پہ عادت ہے تجھے سونے کی. میری گودی تیرے قابل تو نہیں ہے پھر بھی. ہے میرے دل کی صدا میری سکینہ سو جا ہے. آجا اصغر کی جگہ میری سکینہ سو جا. 4 برسوں میں نہ زحمت دی کبھی تو نے مجھے. اپنی خدمت کا مجھے آج تو موقع دے دے. ہوگا احسان تیرا میری سکینہ سو جا ہے. آجا اصغر کی جگہ میری سکینہ سو جا. قید خانے میں جو آ جائیں گے تیرے بابا خود اٹھا دوں گی تجھے شانہ ہلا کر تیرا. اچھا کچھ دیر ذرا میری سکینہ سو جا ہے. آجا اصغر کی جگہ میری سکینہ سو جا. مجھ سے دیکھا نہیں جاتا یہ تیرا درد جگر. یہ بتاتے ہوئے اچھا تو نہیں لگتا مگر. اب نہ آئیں گے چچا میری سکینہ سو جا ہے. आजा असगर की जगह मेरी सकीना सो जा। जागती माँ ने कहा मेरी सकीना सो जा है, आजा असगर की जगह मेरी सकीना सो जा। सलवात।
बराए खुशनुदी इमाम सज्जाद अलैहिस्सलाम बुलंद सलावत। I'm going to request Hujjat Islam Molana Sayyid Hadi Yassin to please address us on this commemoration of the Shahadat of Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam. Salawat for the day.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبو القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بثنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بغيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر الأهد مني لزيارتكم all together. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. Ya Allah, inshallah, accepts our prayers, our amal, our dua, and our inshallah mourning and azar for Imam Hussein. Recite another salawat and gift it to Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. We ask Allah inshallah to accept all this gathering and inshallah be rewarded inshallah for our participation in this majalis inshallah at 9 during the day every time inshallah. When you look at the creation of this world, you see that this world and creation of it is a significant job and very strange at the same time. The relationship between the rules in this universe, space, this dunya, earth, sky, all these things looks very strange. How is it even possible? Sometimes you want to manage a small organization, your house, you will have, difficulties to organize. Sometimes you want to take care of a small group, you will have difficulties to manage it. I think there's another message over there. So, but when you look at the overall, the rules and regulations of this dunya, it's above and beyond our understanding that how it is possible that this dunya, with how organized this dunya is being run and being functioned. But when you look at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the creator, the one who is all wise, the wisdom of Him, the power of Him, then it makes sense to you. Then you see that it is possible. Someone, this dunya is run by who? By Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every little aspect of this world, when you analyze, when you test to see there are regulations, rules, significance with other rules, the connection with each other. Human beings are going to schools, learning different majors and science to be able to understand this universe and this nature a little bit more and better, right? One, major geography. Go learn about how the geography of this world is working. Another one is science. Another one is, they have to take the stones from this tabi'ah, from this, nature, to bring it into the lab, to test it to see how it's working. Forget about even the space, other space, and what's going on. Send shuttles to other space to understand the connection between the earth and the sky. You see that the sun is important because it keeps the gravity of the earth. Now you keep, go analyze how is it possible the gravity of the earth that comes from the sun and all other things that comes together. These are all strange, but when you look at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the power of Allah and what He does in this dunya, it becomes normal. Absolutely, Allah does these things. The question I have is that, have you ever thought about which qaida, which rules, and which part of this universe and this world is actually an absolutely strange that doesn't make sense with other rules of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? All the rules that Allah said make sense, He's using that, and science or testing and it makes sense. There is one rule that doesn't make sense. It's against all rules. What do I mean? In this dunya, causality, the rules of causality, what you do, what will happen, you see the effect of that, right? It's definitely true. If you have a fire, you put your finger into the fire, what will happen? It will burn. If I tap on the table, you'll hear the words of that, right? It's against the law of causality. If I tap on it and nothing is to take the hit, what will happen? There's no sound. I'm talking, you should hear it. This is the causality. So that's why the rules make sense that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said for us. Anything, If you see a finger, the footstep for someone, you understand that someone was here. If you see the smoke, you understand there was a fire somewhere. Yeah? This is very clear. And it makes sense, by the way. There is a rule by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that doesn't make sense. With the rules of dunya and the rules that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He makes for us, it doesn't make sense. I keep lengthening because I want you to think about it. What is the rules that is so ajib, it's so strange, that Allah set these rules against the rules that He already had for us and for everything in this life? You should look at yourself, you should look at your relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You should look at the nature, The science, that's how they interpret it. They say, for example, if the situation and the weather happens this way, we're going to have rain. If it happens this way, the cold weather is going to come. If it's happened this way, the warm weather is going to come, or something, or a storm. It's very clear, right? They don't anticipate from their own unless they have the data. They have data, they know this will be interpreted this way and this way. They have satellite that's. But there is one rule that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He set for human beings that is so strange it doesn't make sense. That's the rule and the policy of maghfirah, forgiveness and af. That doesn't make sense. It's against all laws that Allah set for us. What do I mean? We said law of causality, right? You do something, you see the consequences of that. The law should apply here as well. You did something, you should see the consequences of that, right? You did something wrong, I did something wrong, I have to stay with the consequences. You tell me, what is this law that Allah comes and interferes Himself and says, no, if you repent to me, I'm going to get rid of this law, and I'm going to change this law, I'm going to forgive you, and you're not going to be what? Punished, and everything will be fine. That's against the law, right? Well, He said Himself, the law is what? The law is the way that you do something, You're going to see the consequences. But in Quran says what? If you repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, أُولَٰئِكَ يُبَدِّلُ اللَّهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِمْ حَسَنَاتٍ. Not only I'm going to forget about you did something wrong, I'm going to change them all to خَيْرًا حَسَنًا. That's against the law. Have you thought about this? It's against the law that Allah says. It looks like this. You put your finger into the fire and it's not burning. It's like the water is there, but it doesn't make anything wet. Isn't it? No. Law is this. We put it this way. It's like I'm talking to you right now and you don't hear it. Not because I can't talk, not because you hear it, no, it's just that the voice doesn't transfer. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And Allah set this rule, here's the strange part. Allah set these rules of forgiveness and af without doing anything and hurting His justice and adalah. Here's the interesting part. He is still the just God, right? He does everything based on hikmah and wisdom, and at the same time He keeps forgiving people. He keeps forgiving people. You want a good example? Moharram Yazid Yahi in Karbala. Well, he's the reason Imam Hussein was stuck into Karbala, right? He's the reason. He said, Imam Hussein told him, forget about it. I was here, and by the way, Hur didn't know that people of Kufa invited Imam Hussein, right? Okay, so you let me go. It just took 1 second that Hur said, Imam Hussein, go back. Because before anybody else reached Karbala, Hur reached Karbala with his friends, with his soldiers, right? And when he reached Karbala, what happened? They were all thirsty, and Imam Hussein had water. Imam Hussein gave them enough water that not only they were all, full, Imam was giving water to their horses as well. This is what history is saying. One of the soldiers said, I was behind others. When I reached, I was very thirsty and tired. I fell down, almost passed out. Imam took my head on his lap and he gave me water. And he says, gave his horse water as well. Technically, the reason Imam Hussein couldn't leave Karbala is what? Or Rabbi Yazid. Okay, so you have to see the consequences of your amal. If we're going to put it this way, it's not right, but take it from me. That one of the reasons Imam Hussein was in Karbala and became shaheed because Hur didn't let him go, right? From this angle. Or you should see the consequences. Well, thank you so much, you're going to repent to Imam Hussein, whatever, but you see the consequences of that. No. He becomes one of the shuhada of Karbala that today me and you will say what? Ya laytana kunna ma'akum fanafuza fawzan azima. That hadith, Imam Hussein says, I have never seen any ashab, any companion, any family members, awfa wa aqar, more loyal than you ashab of myself. You know what that means? That means from the beginning of Adam, all the way from the time of Adam to the end of the world, how many shaheed comes? How many companion of imams come? How many good people comes? None of them can reach the position of shuhada of Karbala. None of them can reach the position of who? Moharram Yazid. He didn't let Imam Hussein to leave Karbala. Isn't it a strange rule? It is a strange. It is against all the rules and policies. However, this rule, it's so amazing that it does not contradict with the justice and idalat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So salawat ala Muhammad. I made this equation, I want you to solve it. How is it possible? With what rule Allah is setting this policy that whatever you do, Imam Hussein until the last moment in Karbala, he keeps what? He keeps inviting people to the right path. Why he's doing it? So it's not just a whole, he wants others to join him. Others who came to kill him and his family, join Imam Hussein to be in the right path. Oh, they came to kill you, leave them alone. No, I have to guide them. I have to guide them. It doesn't make sense. Imagine you go stay in front of those who want to fight with you and hurt you. You start talking, brother, this is Islam, this is Salah. It doesn't make sense. I'm purposely making it this way, by the way. It makes sense, you know what I mean, right? But how do we solve this? How we solve this throughout the history? Not only Karbala, another time they keep, Yazid al-Mal'un, he comes to one Sajjad al-Salam. So not that he is regretting anything, right? He's saying, look, any way that I can repent what I did? And so this says, yes, there's a repentance. He killed your father and then your brothers and then 17 members of your family members. What do you say? So there is still a chance that Allah will forgive Yazid, yes? If you could do something to repent, the Bab al-Tawbah is not close to anyone, right? Of course, they don't have any tawfiq to do it, not even a second, because they don't even regret what they did, right? Not even being Muslim to do these things. But the Bab al-Tawbah, the path of Tawbah and repentance is open to everyone. This equation has a key. I'm going to give you a tip. That how Allah is setting the dish, specifically in Moharram. The key to the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Imam Hussein. The key to this forgiveness is Imam Hussein. When you look at the whole history, someone comes to, there is a tradition that says, Ibn Muljam, Shem himself, he wasn't person. He was a person. Then Imam Ali imprisoned him. He asked Imam Ali, please forgive me, so and so. Imam says no. He sent the message to Imam Hassan, you come and no. He sent the message to Imam Hussein, you go to your father and be the intercessor. Shafi', I know your father. Imam Hussein said, yes, I'll do it for you. People of Medina, there was a famine in Medina. They didn't have water to drink or anything. They went to Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ya Rasulullah, you have to pray for us. We need water. People are dying. Rasulullah told them, you have to go to Hussein. He's little one. Go to Hussein and ask him to pray. Allah will answer his dua. Ask him to pray. By the way, good for them that Imam Hussein prayed for them to have water and how they responded in Karbala. Why Imam Hussein keep referring them? And Rasul, he keeps referring them to who? Imam Hussein. Someone needs help with Imam Hussein. All the Imams before Imam Hussein, they keep talking about Karbala of Imam Hussein, right? Let's get ready for Karbala. Rasulullah himself, let's get ready for Karbala is coming. They give the baby Imam Hussein to Rasulullah, he starts crying. Who cried at the beginning of having the baby? Imam Hussein is on the lap, crying for Imam Hussein. Rasulullah with Salama, cry for Imam Hussein. Hazrat Zahra cry for Imam Hussein. Amir al-Mu'minin, Imam Hassan, La Yawm Kiyamah Abdullah. They're preparing everything for Imam Hussein, right? After Ashura will happen, everyone keep this message. Let's cry for Imam Hussein, Imam Baqir, Imam Saleh. This majalis that you have, we didn't create this majalis. This majalis, if you go back, it comes all the way from the beginning of the Khilqah, Adam. Prophet Adam, he started crying for Imam Hussein. But officially this majalis happened one at a time with Imam Baqir and Imam Saleh. They invited people, they invited Nohan to come and recite. Others would what? Imam Hussein crying for Imam Hussein. This majalis all the way back keeps referring to Imam Hussein, everyone. Imam, and inshallah in another speech we'll talk about this. Imam of Asr of our time keeps talking about who? Imam Hussein. Ziyarat al-Nahi, you remember the day of Ashura? فَلَأَنْدُبَنِّكَ صَبَاحًا وَمَصَاءً وَلَأَبْكِيَنَّ عَلَيْكَ بَدَلَ الدُّمُوعِ دَمًا. Imam of Asr, Imam of your time, he says, I cry for you, Ya Hussein, every day and every night, and instead of tear, I cry blood for you. لا ينتوى عن الحوى. He does not talk because he's emotional. He's Imam Ma'asum. He sees. Well, my question to you: why Imam Zaman doesn't say, Imam Kazim, I cry for you days and nights? There's a hikmah, wisdom behind this, right? Why he doesn't say, Imam Hassan Askari, my father, Imam Hadi, this happened, Imam Rizal, this happened, which all, they're all the same, right? But sometimes they emphasize on something because that's something important. That's something important. This law and this qaida of forgiveness that Allah has for us. I said Imam Hassan is the key because that's fastest way of forgiveness and the best way of forgiveness. Let me give you an example. The best amal can work for you at the day of judgment will be accepted with amal with ikhlas, mukhlasana, sincerity. If you do an amal, it's very difficult. Hadith is saying, if you have 2 rak'at salat that you perform sincerely, wajabat lahu jannah. Jannah will be wajib for you. 2 rak'at salat. Not the whole time, not the whole life. 2 rak'at salat. Let's see how difficult it is. 2 rak'at salat. Completely with ikhlas and sincerity. Look at yourself, see if you had 2 rak'at salat so far, 100% with ikhlas. If you have it, Allah will. Wajabat lahu jannah. Jannah will be wajib for this person. There's always some benefit in this, right? Well, I cry because what? I cry because, oh, I have this hajjah. Let's say in salat, I cry because of hajjah, right? Very good, mashallah. There's always something behind this. I do something and I want something in return, right? What happened? Fasting? Do we fast? When we fast during the day, it's fully mukhlis, mashallah, for the sake of Allah. At the end of the day, I can't wait to break my fast to eat, right? Towards the end of Ramadan, it's like, oh, how many days left? Oh my God, still 10 days left. And then after Ramadan, it says, mashallah, very blessing, mashallah. Well, you couldn't wait to get over it, and now it's a very good one. It's very difficult to have amal with ikhlas and sincerity. The only way that we can be 100% sure we do it sincerely is crying for Muhammad. They recite the Masal of Imam Hussein. You don't think about Jannah or hell or heaven, anything. You just cry for Masal of Imam Hussein. It comes by itself. When you hear the Masal of Imam Hussein, you don't cry for dunya, you don't cry for akhirah, you don't cry for anything. Just the Masal of Imam Hussein touches your heart and you cry for it. That's why he said in this category of Majalis of Imam Hussein and cry for Imam Hussein, there's no riyah, there's no hypocrisy. There's no hypocrisy. However you participate and however you cry for Imam Hussein, we'll accept it. It's impossible that someone do hypocrisies with riyah for Imam Hussein. It's impossible. They said either you cry, baka, yabka or tabaka. Either you cry, or you make someone else to cry, or you act like you want to cry. Even if tears doesn't come, just act as you're crying, as you're sad. When we give you the thawab of someone who cried for Imam Hussein, that's strange, isn't it? Hadith is saying, if someone composes one poetry from Imam Hussein, one verse from Imam Hussein says, wajabat lahu jannah, jannah will be wajib for this person. Of course, the amal is important, you know. Someone can just compose a letter and then, or you know, poetry and it does whatever he wants to. But when it comes to this story of Imam Hussein, participation in Majalis of Imam Hussein, one of the most important and sincere amal that we can have is Majlis of Imam Hussein, participation in Majlis of Imam Hussein. That's why ulama, urafa, shuhada, when they had dream about them, they keep saying, we wish we could come to this dunya for the sake of Majalis of Imam Hussein. Nothing else we want from this. Nothing else. I said, Allama Amini Rahmatullah alayhi. Allama Amini, the author of Hadi. One of the greatest Shia is alive today in our time is because of Allama Amini. He was going to different part of the world. He was going to India, going to Pakistan, going to Africa. He heard there's one book in one library somewhere in India. He was going there to study that book. It was not like today, internet or something. He was going there to study that book. They said sometimes they were closing the door of library. He said, I'm inside at night. I'm inside, you go. He said, I have to lock it. Go tomorrow, come, open the door, I'm still inside, right? And he was keep working. His son had a dream about Allama Amini after his death. He says, he's so beautiful, mashallah, position. Alhamdulillah, oh father, definitely this position is because of Al-Qadir, the book that you wrote. Well, definitely because of, The speeches that you have about Amir al-Mu'mineen, so and so. Why? Because of participating in the Majlis of Muhammad. We don't see that by the way. We're not going to understand what that means until we go over there, then we understand what that means. Aynul yaqeen, haqqul yaqeen. If you keep telling the baby, by the way, this is hot, if you touch it, it's going to burn you, you're describing something. But when he touches it, then he understands what that means. Right? The reality is something else. Therefore, this qanun, this law, this policy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He set against other laws, that He forgives people. He forgives people. Specifically when they make Ahlul Bayt, their Shafi' and intercessors between them and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning what? Meaning use this opportunity, use this majalis for the sake of what? Forgiveness. For the sake of getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You already took the steps, the first steps, by just being here in the Majlis of Muhammad. By just being in the Majlis of Muhammad. But what else can I do? What else I should do to make this a lifetime change for me and my life? Sometimes you do something, you change something, you set the path of your generation towards the right path. Sometimes a father, a mother, says a dua in the middle of the night, changes the path of whole generation. Whole generation. Just say, Ya Allah, if I have any goodness, any khair, I want you to give me the tawfiq and my generation always to stay in this path. Many of ulama, I look at myself and says, there's nothing special about myself to become alim or something, although I'm worse than all of you guys. But there might be one of my ancestors in his middle of the night, he cried and he says, you know what, back to back, we have one alim back to back, in our history of family. Maybe one of them cried in the middle of the night and says, we want this path to be continued. Maybe because of that. And after Rijal, they found me. Sometimes one dua. Imagine the path of generation of Hur. We keep saying Hur, right? The generation of Hur. Where it was going, where it is going. He set it towards something. Because of one sacrifice, one change, one decision that we make. One decision that we make in life. We can set it towards the path that whole generation. On the other side as well, on the other side. Terema, let me tell you what, Terema is one of the people that he loved among the Sahabas. Is the name of God, Terema. Have you heard about him? Anyone? Why are we not hearing about these names? How many years we are coming to Majaz of Muhammad and we're not hearing about this? This is another question, inshallah we'll answer later on. Right? Why not? Terema is a guy who came to Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein was going towards Karbala, right? He came and Imam says, Terema, we need you to come and help. You know that this is it. He said, absolutely, definitely, I have to come and help you. I'm going to put it this way. He had some bags of goods in his hands, or on his camel. He says, Ya Rasulullah, behind these mountains are my family. I go take these things that I purchased with them. I'll take them over there. At that time they had to travel a long time to me. I will bring these things to my family. Before you reach there, I will be with you. And he had the intention to go with him. What did he do? He prioritized what? His family over Imam of time, over Islam, over husband, over wife, over children. Well, if you have a school, we don't have to go to. If we have something more important, then forget about Majlis al-Imam. He said, I'm going and coming back. When he came back, they were closing all paths. Any passage that were towards Karbala, he couldn't reach Imam. When he reached, the sun is on the spears. One decision. You found Imam Hussein. You left him in the middle of the way. That's the strength, right? Then you see someone, Wahhab Nasrani, Wahhab is Christian, with his whole family, converted a little bit before, he becomes one of the greatest. It doesn't make sense. You come and interpret it. How is it possible? We thought you have to worship your whole life to be able to be with Imam Hussein. No? Well, he was a Christian the whole life. He just converted to Islam. How is it possible? How does Allah calculate this thing? Someone should. I want you to think, how long can he calculate this thing? Wahhab Nasrani with his mother. His mother was Nasrani, became Muslim. And they gave her the head of her son. She goes and throws it to Shamr and Ibn Sa'd. Says, whatever we did hadiyah for the sake of Allah, we don't take it back. I think we should be close to the position of awliya of Allah to say something like that, right? This is something we expect. Now, Hazrat Zainab wanted to say this. They are the students of Hazrat Zainab, by the way, right? What is this? Think about this, sisters, for a second. The head of her son, isn't it? This is for Allah, we don't accept it. Christian was not Muslim to be seen Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt, no. The key is what? Imam Hussein. With other imams, if I can say this word, with other imams, you have to take your time and learn and go and sit down in the majalis of Imam Sadiq, majalis of Imam Baqir to learn something about Islam, right? وَأَمَّا صَفِيَّةُ الْحُسَيْنِ أَسْرَعْ وَأَوْسَعْ is fastest and widest. That's matters of Imam. And they buy something. Although the amal are important, although our actions are important, these are the prerequisites. But they look at the quality of your heart and your intention. The quality of your heart and your intention. What you have. How sincerely you want to be with Imam Hussein. How sincerely you want to be with Imam Hussein. They look at that, they look at your heart. Allah is who? He knows what is in our heart. He looks at that and he buys that. Therefore, now that this path is open, now that Allah made this exception for us, for everyone, specifically those who know Imam Hussein, it's very brave. We cannot take advantage of this majalis, of the path of Imam Hussein. And again, we keep saying, this is an ocean. Depends how much you know to dive, your expertise, you can gain more from it. Someone comes 50 years, just participate in the majority of Hussein and do azan, everything very good, mashallah, goes home and get whatever he wants to get, perfect from the majlis of Hussein. Someone comes and she dives deeper and get more from the majlis of Hussein. Someone comes and dives deeper and deeper every time Moharram and Safar comes, think that you are an expert, you want to dive into this ocean. How deep you want to go and gain something. The treasures usually are down there. It depends on us. How much I want to gain from this majalis, changing myself. Again, now that this path is open, now that it's in front of us, it's just a matter of taking advantage of it. This path never ends. Never ends. One of the ways that we have a lot of stories, a lot about people who change their path. Let me finish my matches with this story. It's very famous. There was a guy, his name was Ali. His title was Gandawi. Gandhar was a position, that was a region that, I usually don't say any story or any dream or anything unless it's 100% fact. Gandhar was an area in the city in Iran that gutter in area, it was not a nice area. Ali Gandawi is one of those that you cannot even imagine what he was doing in his life. Everything. Drinking and taking, money from others and forcing, and anything that you can control. It was very famous that Ali Gandawi, he's this kind of person, and everyone was scared of him, afraid of him. Oh, he's coming. It was one night before the night of Ashura, we usually call it Tasu'a, the night In certain places like Iranian or Arab, they call it Qasu'a, the night belongs to Imam Abu al-Fadl Abbas alayhi salatu wasalam, the night before Ashura. He was drunk. In Moharram, he was drunk. In Moharram, he was drunk. One of the scholars, he was coming back from a majlis that he had, this important night, it's the 9th of Muharram, he had majalis, he was coming back from a majlis that he had out of the city, he was coming in. Once he was coming in, those who are elders, they know at that time, cities had gates, right? Darwaza. They had Darwaza gate, it was clear. What city had that? He was coming inside the city, he saw Ali Gandawi with his friends. Oh, at this time, midnight, he is there, drunk with his friend. That's it. That's it. Imagine someone like this, how dangerous he can be, and he is drunk. He said, I look at him, he says, Ali, what do you want from me? He stopped them at Hadi. He says, what do you want from me? He said, where are you coming from? He said, tonight is the night of our Father Abbas. I'm coming from, Majlis of our Father Abbas, of course I'm here. Ali says, oh really? He says, you have to recite Majlis of Hussein, our Father Abbas, right now for me. Over here. What do you mean I have to recite? He says, midnight, inshallah, tomorrow come to the Majlis. He was somehow wants to get rid of him. Tomorrow, inshallah, come to my Majlis, I will recite the Majlis. No, right now. And probably has a knife or something again. So you have to recite it. And he was looking for another excuse. The audience says, well, I don't have any, member or anything. I have to have member. He sat down on the ground on his knee. He says, sit down on at the back of my seat. Here. Then you recite. Sit on my back and recite. I'm the member of Abu al-Fadl Abbas and Mama said, do it. He said, no, what? So you have to do it. He's a dangerous guy. You have to do it. He said, I sat on the back of Ali Gandawi and I started saying, Assalamu alaikum ya Abu al-Fadl Abbas, Assalamu alaikum. When I was reciting the musibah, I realized that my member is shaking. My member is shaking, Ali Gandawi is crying for Imam Hussein. And this situation, he's shaking. He said he was crying and crying. However, whatever was possible, he recited the musibah and majlis and he left, went home. Anyhow, he changed because of that night, because of moments, he changed his path. They had a dream about him that he changed the moments and came. And anyhow, I want to go to this part of the story. He went to Karbala and he decided to stay in Karbala next to Imam Hussein. Who? The one who was drunk in the night before Ashura. Now he goes and lives next to Haram Imam Hussein. Okay. I think at that time was Ayatollah Burujadi, that, if I'm not making a mistake here, one of the greatest Maharaja that we had. He was always reciting, performing his Salat Jama'at before the Marja, in the Haram of Imam Hussein. One night they told Marja that, one of the greatest Mu'mineen, he passed away. We want you to stay after your Salat in Haram because we want you to bury him. We want you to bury him. He said, well, why not tonight? He says, that's it, that happened, and he's a famous guy, we have to do it. Where the qabr, the grave inside the Haram of Imam Hussein for this important person. Alright. After the Salat, I told Allah, he's waiting and waiting and waiting. They're not bringing money. It's late. Why they're not bringing it? He said, what happened, man? I said, we thought, he passed away, but while they were doing it, he actually didn't pass away. He passed out or something. He's still alive, so. Then Allah said, okay, so we're going to recite the Isha, inshallah, we'll see what will happen, and then they recited Salat al-Isha, and after Salat al-Isha, Allah keep looking back, where's Ali Gandawi? Where's Ali Gandawi? I want to talk to him. Where is he? He's in Sajda. Okay, so 5 minutes is in Sajda. 10 minutes is in Sajda. Ali! They shake him and says, he passed away over there. That's it, in Sajda. In the Haram of Imam Hussein. Then Allah said, he said, oh, so that qabr that we made it ready for that guy should be filled up? He says, no, that qabr was meant to be for Ali Gandawi. Put him there. Imam Hussein invited him from there to go to Karbala, and he made the grave for him. You deal with me, I responded, and I pay back in this dunya the way that you don't even think about it. This is Imam Hussein. The way that you cannot even think about it, I respond you back this way. Forget even about Akhirah, how he answers in Akhirah. Marhum Garbandi said he had a dream. Every dars that Marhum Garbandi had, he had a majlis for Imam Hussein. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, he had majlis. He said, Marhum Garbandi, why you keep reciting Musibah for Imam Hussein? Forget about it. He says, no, I have to. Why? He said, I had a dream that this mahshar, the day of judgment, people are in different lines standing. They said, you have to be in this line. What is it? This is the line of ulama, scholars. This is the line of souls. He said, I saw the other line. This is one line is going very fast. Our line is going very slowly, very slowly. He said, I went further in his dream. I went further to see what's going on over there at the beginning of the line. I saw our line of the scholars, Amir al-Mu'min, standing there. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What did you do? Ya Allah, Ya Allah. It's very going slowly. I went to the other line. This is the line of Imam Hussein Islam. He's there. He's going very fast. He saw those lines. This is ulama. Other lines is the line of the no-cat of Imam Hussein. All those who help, all those who pour tea and help outside and organize the shoes and how those people put the Adam here and put the Adam over there. All those people going very fast. He said, I went from this line to the other line, to line of Imam Hussein. To line of Hussein. We're all the way at the beginning of the line. Imam said, look at me, says, Darmandi, you're not part of this line. You should be in the line of Imam. He said, I beg him, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, please do not send me over there. Let me be in this line. I promise I'm going to be among those who always serve you and your path. That's why every time I recite the Musibah of Imam Hussein before my adars. This is Imam Hussein. How proud we should be. We're coming in this message, we're very selfish for ourselves. We want to gain what we want to gain from the majlis of Imam Hussein. Look at yourself, you're crying, you're doing less than that. You're having a pleasure right now. Huh? A pleasure. Imam Hussein, Imam Sadiq said, Imam Molana said, the best pleasure for a father is that he sees that his son is grown up and he's walking in front of him. Best pleasure. Many of you guys, you have sons grown up, teenager or adult. They walk in front of you, you look at them, Alhamdulillah, you, mashallah, Rashid in front of me. The Imam says the worst pain and musibah for that father is to see his son on the ground. Oh, you can turn off the light. That this son on the ground, I don't want to even tell you that this son, if this son is Ali Akbar, how would he feel? If this son, he called his father, Ya Abba, alayka minna salam, salam from me to you, O father. They said Imam Hussein, so quickly he went to Ali Akbar. He dropped himself from the horse on the ground. He couldn't wait to come down. He dropped himself on the ground. Then on his knee, he stood, on his knee, he dragged himself to Ali Akbar. Maroon, Omar Assad, and his army started laughing at Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam at that moment. Ali, that's so difficult for me that you call me. You wanted little red water and could not give you water, Ali John. How difficult it is for this father to do so. How difficult it is. Now Hussein has to, carry the body of Ali Akbar. They said two people, their body were Erm and Erbal, tike. One was the body of Ali Akbar, the one was the body of Fadl Abbas. Meaning that Imam Hussein, he was lifting one side of the body, the other side was still on the ground. That's why he comes and says, Jamanan Bani Hashim, oh the youth of Bani Hashim, come and help Hussein. I cannot take Ali Akbar back to Khiyam. Imagine when Ali Akbar is next to Zainab, how she was feeling. The one who was in charge of Caravan of Hussein after Ashura. The one who kept distracting children of Hussein not to look at the head of their father in front of them. the one who in Sham, she hid her head to the Mahmal so she would distract children of Hussein not to look at the head of their father. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. Hussein, group of people who need your help sitting in your majlis, they need you to be the intercessor and shafi to Allah. Allah forgive them. I'm talking about myself. Ya Hussein, you're full of sins. You be the shafi to help us, Ya Hussein. وعلى الأرواح التي حل آيات بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بغيت وبغي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر الأهد مني لزيارتكم. Before you say this salam, I want you to remember and picture the moment that Hussein is saying Veda to Zainab. Zainab is crying and Hussein is crying as well. Now all together, As-salamu ala al-Husayn wa ala Ali ibn al-Husayn wa ala One more time, when you say Hussein, remember Hussein on the ground and Shabab his chest. When you say Ali Akbar of Hussein, remember Ali Akbar on the ground and Hussein next to him. When you say Awlad al-Hussein, remember Ali Asghar on hand of Hussein and arrow on his neck. When you say Ashab al-Hussein, remember all Ashab al-Hussein. One more time, see yourself in Bain al-Haramain, inshallah. As-salamu ala al-Husayn wa ala Ali ibn al-Husayn wa ala awlad al-Husayn wa ala. There was a lady who said salam to Hussein when she was passing Karbala. Right after Ashura, you know that when they were passing to go to Kufa, the body of Imam Hussein, when the Shuhada of Karbala is still on the ground, and they definitely purposely, you know, they pass Karavan from between the Shuhada and among Shuhada, so they see the body of Hussein and the Shuhada. سلام على قلب الزينب السبور ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين فسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. إن شاء الله في دعاء. يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم بحق الحسين hasten in the rule of our Imam Mahdi. بحق الحسين forgive all our sins. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, give us tawfiq and opportunity to be among the true followers of our Imam. Help our brothers and sisters, give them all khair hajat. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those who are sick, cure them, and those who passed away, send the thawab and the water out of this majlis to their soul. Mu'tam Hussein. Ya Hussein. Ya Hussein, 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 Ya Hussein. Sakina Sakai Sakina
تھی سکینہ رو رو کے فقط تم کو بلاتی تھی سکینہ آ جاؤ خدا را پاس پاس سرکار سکینہ پاس پاس سرکار سکینہ بھیا تم سو گئے میدان میں میرا چھن گیا پردہ سر کھل گیا میرا پاس پاس سرکار سکینہ پاس پاس سرکار سکینہ شبیر کا سر پشت سے جب کاٹا گیا تھا خنجر کے تلے بھائی نے دو بار کہا تھا آؤ میرے بھیا پاس پاس سرکار سکینہ سرکار حسینی تاراج ہوا سر کو دربار حسینی ہم ہو گئے تنہا پاس پاس سرکار سکینہ پاس پاس سرکار سکینہ کیا میں نے وہ بھیا ہاں شان غریباں میں حرم کا دیا پہلا دل کہتا ہے میرا پاس پاس سرکار سکینہ پاس پاس سرکار سکینہ سکینہ پاس پاس زینب کا سہارا پاس پاس سرکار سکینہ پاس پاس یا حسین 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 یا حسین
صلی علی محمد و آل محمد ماشاءاللہ جزاک اللہ ماشاءاللہ. We are not going to have any majors tomorrow. It was a mistake. So but next week, of course, we're going to have the majalis regularly, going to be informed through the email. So please read email every